Welcome back. We had another huge game in the Nick 10 that we still had to get to. Jefferson and Guilford, they have been exciting playmakers all year. I mean, you saw Jefferson last week, your story on Sebastian Bracious and LaShawn Gathright, and they really had it was an interesting matchup against Guilford, and I think really either team could come out on top.
Yeah, seriously. So, I mean, we'll see what Jefferson's capable of doing against Guilford with that dynamic duo that they have there between Bracious and Jefferson.
Still looking for that first win of the year, too, between these two guys. And wow, look at that. That is immediately a touchdown. I think we need to go back to the start of this one. We'll take you right there. Messiah Tilson getting ready. The junior just receiving an offer from U of I, and number 11 can absolutely fly. Guilford with their first offensive possession. The pass lands into the hands of LaShawn Gathright. He takes the pick 73 yards to the house, and the Jayhawks go up 6-0, but Guilford would respond. Tilson takes the handoff, turns on the Jets for a near 30-yard gain, and that sets up Isaiah Primus for a 7-6 lead, but looks like we're having some issues with the video the rest of the way here between these two guys. And you know what? I just figured it out. We were on some T's video. Now we got to take you to it. And we got Messiah Tilson getting that U of I offer like we told you about. And there is that LaShawn Gathright pick six. I was a little confused earlier, but just wanted to trust my script writer on that. But after the pick six, now we take you to Guilford once again on offense. And here is Messiah Tilson taking that handoff and turning on the Jets for a near 30-yard gain. And you know, that's what the Illini like about him. That sets up Isaiah Primus for a touchdown, and Guilford will go back out in front in those nice looking powder blues with the black helmet this week, and he is into the end zone. Tilson punches it in from 4 yards out now. Legend has it that he's still running. G-Vikes lead 20-6 on the ensuing drive. Sebastian Bracious rolls to his right, connects with Blake Adrian, setting up a score. Guilford's lead now 20-14. Guilford adds one more off of a turnover, though, and they win it 28-14. Come back and win it on their homecoming night.
Yeah, that's the way to do it on homecoming. But let's go to Hononegah as the Indians are looking to face off against the East E-Raps. Starting off in the second half, Hano the kickoff return. Braden Lane, 75 yards. Look at that. Woo. Fast forward, and almost looks like he's faster than he really is to go up. The next possession, there's a big first down run from Dominic Kelly on the keeper, going 30 yards for the touchdown shortly after that. And then Hononegah goes up 37-0. Here's the Dominic Kelly keeper for the 30-yard touchdown run, which puts Hano up 37-0. East finally getting a drive a little bit later on from Zaire Lee, their running back, with a big-time first down. And then fourth down comes up. Hano pressures Twain Phillips right after that run, and they force a turnover on downs for East.
Need that pass rush to be ready for next week against Boylan, and they sure do look ready to go with that 44-15 win. That's going to be a great one next week, Josh. Now, up next, we take you to a little bit of eight-man football. Christian Life hosting West Carroll for homecoming. The Eagles up 7-zip. Aiden Buckholz jumps over the defender into the end zone. Eagles trail 8-7, but on the ensuing kickoff, Louis Beginnis evading defenders and has nothing but green grass en route to a 60-yard touchdown. Eagles go back on top. 13-8 now, and really liking those Eagles uniforms that they got this time around. And Thunder looking to come up with a response now. Winter Harrington looking like he is going to drop back to pass, but instead hands it off to his running back. He's in for the score, and Christian Life falls in this one 56-21. And now, since we are past the halfway point of the season, let's take you to a look at the standings and where everyone stands heading in to the next couple of weeks. I know there's a lot of big playoff matchups coming up. Dixon and Byron, the only undefeated teams remaining in the Big Northern. I believe they face off in week 8, so that's going to be a big one. You know, that's going to have some game of the week potential. Rockford Lutheran rolling as they always do, and then Stillman Valley, Genoa Kingston, Oregon, North Boone. How about just that cluster right there? I mean, all very similar teams, and they have been duking it out this season. They've had a lot of close finishes. It'll be interesting to see how that all shakes out. Now let's take you over to the Nick 10 now. Take a look at that as we get ready for Boylan and Hononegah next week. Of course, Hononegah did have to forfeit a game because of an issue with Dom Kelly's transferring, so they lost to Harlem technically with that forfeit loss. So that brings Hononegah to 5-1, Boylan 5-1, Harlem 5-1, Belvedere North the only undefeated team remaining in the NIC 10. I believe that is also week 8 for Hononegah. So Hano needs to focus up on beating Boylan next week, and then they can take on B North, try and hand them their first loss. If that's what it comes to, then they could split that NIC 10 title. So that'll be really interesting to see. And you see Harlem up there at 5-1, and I think there's one player that's really had a lot to do with those wins, Josh. So take us away with our play of the night. It can only be one guy.
Yeah, it can only be one guy, only one play in particular, and it's Jamani Muhammad on the 15-plus yard rush, breaking the NIC 10 career rushing record as he flexes for the camera shortly after that rush, and he broke Javius Catlin's record from last year, where Catlin rushed for over 3,600 yards in his career. And obviously Muhammad breaking that. What a career for Muhammad.
Unbelievable run, and this is really just a great running back matchup in that game. You do the story on Cam Burner, but then at the same time, we got Jamani Muhammad breaking Javius Catlin's rushing record, which, of course, he set last year in the final game of the regular season on a bad ankle. He was able to set that record against Jefferson, but now it's Javius Catlin, and that offense really runs through him. I mean, you got to see it firsthand. What is it about that guy that just makes him so difficult and makes him a record setter?
I mean, Muhammad's just such a hard runner, and he's so quick, and nobody could stop him on Freeport's offense, and all they kept doing, every single play, Harlem was rushing the ball with Muhammad, and I mean, you just couldn't stop him, man.
Just amazing rushing attacks on both sides in that one. And we're going to have a lot more coverage next week of Muhammad's record. And, of course, we got to have you covered there. And we got Boylan Hononegah next week, so you know we'll be getting you ready for that. But that's all the time we have for this week. Don't forget to tune in on Sunday night at 10 o'clock with Josh Reisig. He'll reveal our top 4 Play of the Week nominees, and we will reveal that on Wednesday. That's all the time we have for now. Thank you so much for joining us. He is Josh Reisig. I am Eric Graver, and we will see you next week.